Hey guys, what's going on? KP here. Welcome back to another episode of the KP Podcast. This is the podcast where we'll sit down and get to know some heavy bands. Maybe you've heard about them before, maybe you haven't. Now's a good time to know about this next band. I'm talking to a guy named Jake Barsoum of the band Distinguisher. How are you doing today, Jake?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm great. You staying safe out there, right?
Oh, yes. Take one day at a time, man. Do what I can.
Okay, good answer. Who all is in Distinguisher, and where are you guys from?
So the band, it's four of us total. I'm the drummer, and then Nick Chance is our vocalist. Josh Bearden handles guitar and additional vocals, and Brad Cornelius is our bassist. Our hometown is Vegas, although Nick lives just outside of Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay, nice. When did the band, or how and when did the band begin?
Oh God, that's a good starting point. Okay, so me and our bassist Brad, we went to the same school growing up, and we had always talked about starting a heavy project. And I had already had the name Distinguisher in my head. I just wasn't sure what I wanted to use it on. And conveniently, around that same time, I received a call from our original vocalist at the time, Josh. A lot of Joshes, about wanting me to drum for his new band, and I actually just ended up convincing him to get together with me and Brad to start what would eventually become Distinguisher. And I had known him through playing music in my old band in Vegas through over the years, and long story short, we all met up, practiced, and released a single in September of 2014, and we quickly developed like a solid hometown backing. And that kind of put a fire under our ass, and then we just started touring and never looked back. So
that's awesome. I love hearing origin stories. As a big comic book fan too. I mean, I like hearing about that stuff. You currently have 2 albums out right now. We're going to start with What's Left of Us. What was the writing and recording process like for that album?
Yeah, it was. That one was fun because we were still very young, and we had a lot of shit we wanted to just do right away and get off our chest. But we usually practice at my house in my garage. We have like this little bunker area, I like to call it, set up that we always go there anytime we have ideas. That's where we practice, jam out all of our ideas. And we wrote all of that record in the garage, and it was just a lot of me and Josh bouncing off each other. The first 2 songs, or the singles rather, of that record were Collapse and 928. And those were the first 2 songs that me and Bearden came together and wrote collectively. And that was really cool. And then the rest was just easy going. So that all happened in my garage. Recording process, we did it all full production in Portland, Oregon with Mike Som. He works at a Dream Awake Audio. Shout out Mike Som. We love you. He used to live out in Vegas with us. He moved out to Portland, took over the old Rise Records building out there, and he works out of there full time. So we did full production up there. And yeah, that's about it for that one.
Wow. So I like asking that question. I pretty much ask it every interview I have because I like hearing when and how bands make their records. I mean, you know that bands do it different ways, different times. Maybe everyone's together jamming out, and then they'll record it immediately after for pre-production, or maybe it's just one person writing everything, et cetera, et cetera. So I love hearing these stories. Now, last year, you guys released Hell From Here. Was there any difference in writing or recording for this album compared to the first one?
Yeah, I would say there were some differences. We did write. I would say I did guess maybe about half the record came from again my garage. It's just a very there's a lot of energy in there, and we always tend to just, that's where things have always been created for the most part since like the band started. So, but then we kind of hit like a block midway through, and we had our old vocalist Josh stepped down from the band midway through the process, and we some things started changing. So Bearden started writing on his end at his house, and he would have these just riffs or like half demos made, send them to the band email. I would take them, like write my own drums to them. And the next time we'd all meet up, we'd all just put ideas together. So it was a little like What's Left of Us, a little more controlled, I'd say, because we took some stuff back to Bearden's house and actually like midied it out and, you know, like had more time to like hear through everything. We put vocal demos on this stuff that we didn't really do a lot for What's Left of Us, so we could actually sit and continue to listen to what the demo sounded like, figure out if we liked it 100% before we, you know, released it. And then, Nick came in at just the perfect time right before entering the studio, and he ended up contributing lyrically like an immense amount, which was really, really cool to see him like kind of fill into the spot just right. And again, for the recording, we, our guitarist, Josh Bearden, he's an audio engineer out here in Las Vegas. He actually took care of all the guitars down here in Vegas. And he also did additional mixing, which was really cool for him to have like a good hands-on experience with his own record.
Absolutely.
And then the rest, we went up to Portland and did drums and vocals. And that was that.
Right now we're talking to Distinguisher drummer Jake Barsoum. You guys are involved with a larger record label right now called Stay Sick Recordings. What's your involvement with this label?
We are currently under contract with them. We did our most recent album, Hell From Here, was released through them last July, and it was a very easygoing experience all around. We were able to, you know, chart decently with that, which was a really cool accomplishment for us, and the whole team's been very nice, and just overall very easygoing. So we're still with them as of today.
Awesome. Good to hear. Now, there might be drummers out there listening, or maybe people that might be interested in what you're playing. What kind of equipment are you personally using?
Right now, I'm actually in the process of looking to upgrade my current shells, but I'm using a Apex Mars Nightwood series kit. It's nothing too crazy, but I love the birch shells it has. Eventually be upgrading to a Tama very, very soon. So I'm excited for that. But I've always used Zildjian cymbals my whole life. Always used Big Fritz sticks and always used Remo heads. The one exception, I use an Evans Kevlar hybrid head. Live, it cracks and cuts through everything. I love the way I'm able to tune it up. Very, very fun and loud sounding snare head. But I use Shure in-ears and Broadham drum shoes. Shout out Broadham and everyone that's over there. Tyler Sachs, love you, man.
Wow, you're pretty decked out, man.
Yeah.
What's your favorite city to play live and why?
Favorite city to play? I don't even know if I could honestly give you one city. If I had to say, I'd probably just say the tri-state area in general. Those people have no regard for human safety during metal shows, and it's the most insane thing to watch. So definitely tri-state area, and I can't wait to go back.
What would be your dream tour for Distinguisher? Anyone in the world?
Ooh, anyone in the world. How many bands can I choose from?
Let's go max 5.
Max 5. Okay. Yeah, I would say Slipknot, Gojira, Architects, North Lane, Distinguisher. Yep.
That would be one hell of a heavy tour.
Yeah, I think that covers all grounds in the band.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Collectively, all of our favorite bands.
That's
so
everything
that would definitely be a dream tour. Yep.
Now, you said you started back in 2014.
Yeah.
That seems to be like the time era where a lot of bands with this genre kind of starts. I'm thinking of bands like Extortionist and Immoralist and Black Tongue and Traitors and stuff like that. So I like again hearing these origin stories. Commenting back on what you said earlier. Any final words for fans out there listening? Anything at all?
Yeah, thank you guys for caring enough to support the music we love to make. I know we've been at it the time's flown by, but, everyone just be safe out there. Keep an eye and ear out for new content we have in the new future. We have a lot of stuff we're working on, a lot of stuff that's going to be fresh to the ear and the eye. And, your support means the world to us, and I appreciate it.
Jake, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. I'm going to talk to you here in a little bit off air, okay?
Yeah, thank you, man.
No problem at all. It's Jake Barsoum for the band Distinguisher. They got 2 albums out right now. Very heavy band. They're signed with Stay Sick Recordings right now. So if you're looking for a band to listen to during this quarantine, isolation, whatever's going on, definitely check out the band Distinguisher. And then when everything blows over, they're a touring band. So maybe you can check them out when they're around your hometown, or travel a little bit outside your hometown and check them out and get your mosh on. That's going to do it for this episode of the KP Podcast. Appreciate you guys listening as always. We'll see you guys next time.